Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Curtis Debord joins us. He's the CEO of U.S. Ordinance. Here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up to date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we are absolutely delighted to welcome back to the program Curtis Debord. He is CEO of U.S. Ordinance. And if you don't mind, I want to read your mission statement from your website because it's impressive. You manufacture weapons for the military, both in this country and friendly countries around the world. U.S. Ordinance is committed to excellence and integrity in all that we do. We accomplish our mission through the use of good manufacturing process, environmental testing of our products, U.S. government monitoring, and responsible sales ethics. We believe in delivering reliable and comprehensive products and services to our customers, manufacturing and providing firearms that are extensively tested, safe, and battle-proven effective. We adhere to the highest legal and ethical principles in the conduct of all aspects of our business. And for people that want to know more, U.S. Ordinance has a great website where it lays out all the things that you manufacture. All that said, you travel the world. You are one of the most knowledgeable people I know on military affairs. Let's start out with what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine. We discussed a little bit before we got started taping here that for the most part, all wars end in diplomacy. They don't end in the fighting. When the Cold War was going on, Reagan managed to stop the Cold War by threatening to outspend the Russians, and the Russian economy essentially collapsed. Is that where we're heading, or what do you see as the end result of the Russia-Ukraine war?
You know, Sam, the Russia-Ukraine situation is different than most situations. Usually you can kind of negotiate one way or another an end to what's going on. But the problem here is it's personal to Vladimir Putin. It's when it becomes personal, then logic kind of goes out the window. And you know, the old saying is Russia without the Ukraine is a country. With the Ukraine, it's an empire. It's critical for Russia to get the Ukraine back in their eyes. And they don't want just the Ukraine back. They want to reconstitute all of the Soviet Union. And so that's why when you look at the peace agreement that they keep changing and modifying, the peace agreement is, okay, the Ukraine gives up everything, agrees not to have an army bigger than 600,000 when Russia's plan, they're over 1 million now, they plan to have 1.5 million within the next 3 years, I believe, 3 or 4 years. And their plan is to take all of the Ukraine. And so that's what they're setting the stage for. Europe knows it, the Ukrainians know it. The only one that doesn't seem to know it at this point is Donald Trump, because he keeps trying to talk the Ukrainians into taking this deal, which it's a losing proposition for the Ukrainians. It's a win-win for Russia because it sets the stage for them to come in as soon as Trump's out of office, to roll in and take the whole country over where they don't have the capability to resist.
All right. So let's look at the other side of this, which is, first of all, how many people have died on both the Russian and Ukrainian sides in terms of their military, and the cost of the war? Can Russia afford to not bankrupt itself in trying to do this? I mean, I totally agree that that's what the plan is, but financially, can they even afford it?
It goes back to, it's personal with Putin. He feels that the worst thing that ever happened was the dissolution of the Soviet Union. And so the cost in lives, I just saw information recently, 1.2 million Russians. The Ukrainian losses are classified. I've been able to get that information. But they're losing, the Russians, from what I saw, the Russians are losing almost 1,000 per day, 1,000 people per day. And those are huge losses. And they are recruiting people, offering more money. They're bringing foreign soldiers in to fight. They've emptied out their prisons. They send them out there to draw fire. And if anybody tries to turn back and not go fight, they shoot them.
Okay, and for a while there, the North Koreans were sending troops. Is that still going on? Or?
I haven't seen anything about that, but yeah, they're still sending North Korean troops. In what numbers, I'm not sure now, but they sent those North Korean troops in there. The ones that were captured, they thought they were going on a training exercise, and you know, you see these young, North Korean guys, and as the drones coming in or grenades are coming in, you see them just start to run and then bang, And so, regardless of whether we consider them the enemy or not, it's still somebody's child, somebody's brother, sister, daughter, son, whatever. And so, the loss of life is huge, but I don't see anything changing, because the only deal that can be made is basically give up the entire Ukraine, and Russia's not going to agree to anything less than that. They're not going to do it.
And the NATO countries, that would be a total shock to them.
Absolutely.
It's been interesting to see, despite all the bluster, that Donald Trump has been able to get the NATO countries to increase their military budgets from around 2% that they weren't even hitting to going toward 5% now of GDP. That's a huge increase in armament, correct?
It is. But, the thing is, NATO has always just been a peacekeeping force. They're not an aggressor. And so, they don't have the command and control centers to really to deal with a full-scale war.
Isn't that our role?
It is, but the problem is, and I don't know whether it's, as we talked about, is it Donald Trump just staging, saying, well, Europe's on their own, or, would we really live up to Article 5 treaty? I don't know. And you know, the bottom line comes down to this. My opinion, we agreed in the Budapest memorandum that give up your nukes. The Ukraine was the third largest holder of nuclear weapons in the world. And give up your nukes, and we will defend you, basically, without adding them to the Article 5 treaty, that we would, Europe, NATO, the U.S., everybody would protect them if Russia ever tried to invade. Well, then now, Russia invaded in 2014, and what happened? We did nothing. And so they said, well, okay, they're not going to do anything, then we'll just, we'll go in and take the Ukraine.
Well, it's one of those interesting situations where nobody really wants to talk about it, but, both of these countries, United States and Russia, are armed to the teeth with nuclear weapons. It's always interesting to talk about the START negotiations and things like that, where we're going to cut back. But all it took to end the war with Japan was 2 nuclear bombs. And the bombs we have now are far greater than we had then. So we don't even talk about the potential of how far do you push before that is the last resort.
That's it. That's one of the things that I believe in Trump's first term, he came on, like the big bad guy on the block, and we better not mess with this guy because he'll nuke us. I mean, this guy's, unstable. Well, what happened is when Trump and Zelensky had the first meeting, Trump basically let his guard down that he is scared to death of nuclear war and World War III. Well, Putin is a genius. I mean, I don't care what anybody thinks about him. That guy is brilliant, and he gets into your mind. And so as soon as I watched that, I said, that is the worst mistake that Trump could have made, because Putin is going to zero in on that. And so every time Trump agrees he's going to send Tomahawk missiles to the Ukraine or help do this or do that, Putin gives him a call and says, well, I got all those nuclear weapons. I hate to see us push us into World War III. And then Trump backs down. And so he knows what buttons to push to scare Trump, which would have never been possible before.
One of the things that concerns me is when you read about Ukraine sending these long-range weapons deep into Russia, that could trigger exactly what you're describing.
Putin doesn't want a nuclear war any more than anybody else. But what it does is it hurts, because then it gets, the only way things end is if you turn him against, or turn the people against him. Right now, the people are very supportive because they monitor the news. I have actually a family member that lives in Russia that believes that the Russians have only lost about 100,000 people. So, they really control the news. When those missiles go in and blow things up in Russia, that's never reported. Rarely. Once in a while, if it's a small incident. But yeah, most of that stuff is never reported. And if it is reported, it's minimal damage. But that's the only way you're going to bring Russia to their knees, is to continue to, damage their infrastructure and cost them money, and turn the people against the war.
Well, the thing that always concerns me when people talk about Putin and, well, let's get rid of Putin, is that whoever could come in next could be worse.
Well, that's right. The devil you know is maybe better than the devil you don't know. So.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll move to another place in the world. Let's not try to scare everybody. We'll be right back after this.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail. we help it grow. And we mean business.
RANNV.org.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm attorney Orrin Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Points are flying out the door during the Point Party Palooza giveaways going on now at the Carson Valley Inn. Up to 1 million points given away each drawing night. And over 1 million in points guaranteed during the grand prize point explosion. Get in on the action at the Carson Valley Inn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Curtis Debord. He is CEO of U.S. Ordinance. If you want to know more about them, go to their website. It's available. Just Google it. I wanted to talk to you, and we talked the last time you were here about China and Taiwan. And one of the things that strikes me is, and this was true when I was in Hong Kong in 2000, was the people in Hong Kong were saying, hey, you know, we don't mind the Chinese taking over. We're Chinese. We're part of China already. We've seen how that turned out. The amount of commerce between Taiwan and China is phenomenal.
Yes.
So, you know, despite what we see in the news, what's the reality of China and Taiwan, the potential for war or the potential for a way for this to be done that is a better deal than the separate administrative regions that Macau and Hong Kong became?
You know, obviously China doesn't want to rule a moonscape. Taiwan is a, you know.
What a great way to put that.
They, you know, their economy is huge. And there's so much technology there with their the chip factory and all of those things. They don't want to destroy that, but they want the money. They want the control over Taiwan. Now, I mean, in the U.S., I never hear, you know, all of the different threats that Xi Jinping is making. But when I'm overseas and reading China Daily or watching the news overseas, I mean, he's like, well, I warned Donald Trump, you know, that he better not sell any more weapons to Taiwan, and because you know we're several years behind in you know, they've ordered HIMARS missiles and I mean a ton of air defense systems and things that you know we're behind on. But now I think with the Ukraine war, everybody has ramped up, and so now I think we're going to start being able to deliver on some of those back-ordered systems. But China, it's anybody's guess at this point, because Xi Jinping, I mean, he wants to get everybody to just agree. Okay, he doesn't want to take it by force, but what he wants to do is set the stage to where, okay, you can resist, but it's going to be futile. And so right now, you know, he had that 2-day live fire training exercise, I guess. And he got basically on the news and said, this is to let everybody know that when we take over Taiwan, if anybody has any ideas about helping them, you know, we just showed that we can blockade this entire area. And that's what they did.
Well, all these islands that they've built around the area and all the way up through the seas there, it's just stunning what they have. I always like to refer back, and I think we talked about this last time, that China doesn't have a 4-year plan. They have a 100-year plan.
Exactly.
And 2027 may be the date that they put on this thing, but if it's 2037 or 2050, it really doesn't matter. Let's take another break, and we'll get into cyber right after this time out.
They call him high-flying Aaron Ford. In just 1 year, Aaron Ford spent 137 days out of Nevada, almost 5 months. While Nevadans were here, working, raising families, dealing with everyday problems, Ford was racking up frequent flyer miles, traveling to France, Singapore, Taiwan, and the Yucatan. Nevada doesn't need a globe-trotting politician. We need an attorney general who shows up. High-flying Aaron Ford. If he won't show up for this job, why promote him to governor?
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do-It-Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience. Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Curtis Debord. He's the CEO of U.S. Ordinance. We have a million things to get to, but we only have time for so much. So I wanted to ask you about cyber attacks. You talk to these big companies here in the U.S., and they're talking about millions and millions of attacks per day. What is it like on a military basis between what is being attacked here and what we're doing there? Because I hope with $1 trillion military budget, we're doing a lot worse to everybody else than they're trying to do to us.
Most of that stuff is so classified that, but the big problem as far as what are we doing back, what are they doing to us? The problem is the Chinese have, I can't remember, it's a huge number, 40,000 or something, that all day long, that's all they do. That's their job, is to try to infect our systems. And, the scary part is if they can shut down our banking systems, our electrical grids, our water systems, everything is run by computers in this country now. And so we're really vulnerable there. And there's a lot of work going on to try to figure out how to avoid that attack, or if we can't avoid it, what can we do to minimize the effect of it? How can we regain control once somebody else has, say, shut down our electrical grid for the whole country? How can we get that back online?
Okay, so let me ask you this. With nuclear, we have mutually assured destruction. Why don't we have that with cyber? You do this to us, we do this to you, boom, you're gone. I'm hoping that's what the Space Force is all about.
Well, from what people tell me, the next war will be fought in space. And that's why it's so important for us to get control of space, because whoever can control space is going to control the world. And so it's imperative that the U.S. continue, and that's where a lot of, like SNC here in Reno, they're
huge military contractor.
Yeah, big contractor. They are involved in a lot of this all top secret stuff. And so,
yeah, I've been trying for years to get them on the show, and they don't return my calls. No. One of the other things that's been fascinating to watch is Starlink, where not only is it useful if you're going out camping and you want to get your internet, but for a country that's being attacked, you can send up Starlink and they can communicate. And if you want to shut down communications, you turn off Starlink.
Right.
Quick response to that.
I think it was really critical, and I really applaud Elon Musk for shutting that down to the Russians, because that's had a devastating effect on their abilities. So,
well, we have so much more to talk about. I always appreciate you taking the time to come, because you're traveling the world. Please come back soon.
Thank you, Sam.
Always a pleasure.
Forward.
Thank you, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
The new year is bringing new ways to win big during the $175,000 Winter Wonderland giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Win up to $5,000 in cash every week and a top prize of $20,000 in cash during the grand finale drawing. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Check out our archives section on NevadaNewsmakers.com. Great interviews going back as far as 2002. Really worth watching. We'll see you in a minute. Bye.